Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast stream and podcast. It's a stream and a podcast. We are the Too Much Time on Our Hands team. We've got Russ, Dan, and Duncan will do the proper introductions in a minute. But today is Dan's favourite format. We're going to be taking a look at some of the news.
News.
Now.
I was a bit late there, sorry.
News, views, and opinions from around the world and various news sites that we probably won't credit because once it's out there, it's everyone's news. Okay, it's not just you know.
They never credit us for reading out, so fuck them.
No, and all
that's
the
how
countless
copyright works, isn't it?
And all the countless jokes that they have that I'm pretty sure we do first, and then they put on their sites. Anyway,
We're the Deus Ex of podcasts.
Absolutely. No one does it better, but we did it first.
Exactly.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Russ, hello.
Sup?
Dan, hello.
Tom Bombadil.
Duncan, hello.
Howdy.
And I am Tom. And with that, because it's Dan's favourite format, it's news now, small. I'm going to hand it over to Dan.
Okay, guys.
You
Breaking
are a
news.
man, Dan.
We're kicking things off with news that was literally broken.
We need a little breaking news, like dun, 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 dun.
Breaking news. Your news.
Just 22 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vin Diesel's apparently a cunt.
Okay.
Really stretching the definition of the word news there, because something
so,
that's broadly
off to a-
accepted as
Off to a
common
flying
knowledge.
start. Off to a flying start
But
already.
we never had any evidence that he was difficult to work with. But apparently the reason Justin Lin left Fast and Furious 10 because he was drained from working with Vin Diesel.
It must be a tough gig.
This is on Screen Rant. Fast and Furious 10 problems destroy the franchise's perfect hype machine. With the departure of director Justin Lin, as well as various other behind-the-scenes controversies, the hype for the sequel Fast X has been drained. So this, I mean, there's got to be a better one than this, but the best I could find was New Jersey local news. Justin Lin, the director of Fast and Furious 10, resigned because Vin Diesel was so tough to work with. There's no doubt that Fast and Furious is one of the world's most popular and lucrative film franchises. Following the retirement of long director Justin Lin, the successful franchise is causing a stir. Lin said he will be stepping down from the film's 10th and second to last installment, but will remain as its producer. He's giving up 10 to 20 million to this. Shows up late to the set. He doesn't know his lines, and he shows up out of shape. But he's worked out a very very delicate system, obviously, for how many punches everyone should throw, but just won't do all the other stuff that actors probably should do.
Jeez, I mean, he must be really difficult to work with if you're willing to give up basically $20 million. I mean, how much of a twat does someone have to be that you... Oh, Michael Gove.
Would you, Michael Gove? Did you see that interview this morning?
My God, what the hell was that about?
That
Just
was weird.
I mean, he can be a sort of an odd character sometimes, but yeah.
Tim Fallon tweeted going, whatever Michael Gove took this morning, the Lib Dems would probably want to legalise it.
That was really fucking weird. But yeah, so Vin Diesel apparently is incredibly difficult to work with, is what we're finding out. So.
I mean, I'm not registering a huge amount of surprise in the room.
But the thing is, we've never heard anything about it. But
Yeah, that's true. We've all just sort of assumed.
Yeah, 100%. This like everything. We've all said it. Like for the last 5 Fast and Furious films, we've all said, "I bet Vin Diesel is really tough to work with."
Although, mind you, all the stuff about like how, none of the other performers are allowed to be seen to be taller than him, and they have to land the same amount of punches, and like getting it written into their contracts that they never lose a fight of any sort, even if it's what the story requires. Like that's not the behaviour of someone who's terribly easygoing in the workplace, is it?
No, and he seems to be spending more time doing that than, I don't know, being an actor. Which, if he wants these franchises to be based around him, you'd have thought that would be something of a priority for him.
That's always been a bit of a stretch definition anyway.
He's an actor.
Yeah. One of my favourite things is that video of Vin Diesel about 2 days before Justin Lin packed it all in, where he's talking about, we're hyped, we're on the set of Fast and Furious 10. You see Justin Lin in the background going, yep, I'm here again. I could be doing something more worthwhile, but that video happened and then just went, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Well, they are an incredibly successful franchise, but there are not many film series that can reach 10 and still have any real sense of quality to them. There are not. What other franchises have got 10 things in them?
Marvel,
which is lots and lots of different stories. It's not the same bunch of characters every single time.
Those they're Star Wars films,
which have how many Star Wars films are there now?
There's
9, 10,
11.
There's 11
right?
of them, aren't there? Yeah. But again, like slightly different groups of characters.
Yeah, and some of them are shit as well. So.
Yeah. And Bond, obviously, but that's like Bond is really a series of series.
I'll tell you what I think, though. I think the Mission Impossible Mission Impossible franchise has the chance to actually do it, I would say.
Yeah, they have just got better and better and better.
Yeah. So I think that they could probably outlive the Fast and Furious franchise. I think it would be amazing if Justin Lin then went off to do Hobbs and Shaw too.
Yeah. Just slowly the whole team osmoses to the point where it's actually just everyone that was involved apart from Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Fucking hell. God, it's depressing, isn't it? Nearly as depressing as the fact they've decided to make an Exorcist reboot. I didn't know anything about this.
Oh, come on.
What? Not another one.
Most of our news will be on comicbook.com now, including this one. Back in 2018, filmmaker David Gordon Green delivered audience a new entry in the Halloween franchise, which served as a continuation of the original 1978 movie that also revived interest in the entire concept, which led him to be moving forward on new takes on both Hellraiser and The Exorcist. In the case of the latter, Green enlisted Halloween Kills co-writer Scott Teems to help develop the story for a new Exorcist, with Teems recently detailing how he and the rest of the team behind the project aim to capture the terror of the original movie. Teems' latest film, Firestarter, which is another remake, hits Peacock and theatres on May 13th. I'm all for horror remakes, but leave The Exorcist alone. Like, The Exorcist is pretty much a perfect film, so just fucking leave it alone. We don't need that remake. The Exorcist is fine as it is. You do not need to remake that, because you will not remake a better version than what they've already done, because it's fucking perfect.
It's like, why would you ever remake The Shining? It's perfect. Why would you ever remake the original Alien?
Well, the only reason you'd remake The Shining is if you did one that was close to the book. But yeah,
well, maybe. But that's the point, though, isn't it? As a cinematic masterpiece as it is, it's brilliant. It's perfectly paced, brilliant, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter that it's based on a book.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, and it
feels lazy.
I always don't understand what they mean between a difference between a remake and a reboot. A reboot, to me, always makes me think that they're planning to remake the first one so that they can then make all the other ones, so that they can reboot the franchise.
Wasn't Exorcist 2 a bit shit, though?
Yeah, 3 was good. 2 was shit.
Yeah, and The Omen as well. Like The Omen, the original Omen was great, and then all the other sequels just took it in ridiculous directions, even to the point where Sam Neill played Damien as the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Mad. Absolutely mad. Mad. I'm not mad. It's mad.
It just doesn't need to happen. Like, I'm all for continuations on things like Halloween. Like, because there's so many of those fucking films as it is anyway. So I'm all for them continuing the franchise. And it wasn't so much a reboot, more that they just decided to just go in straight, essentially as a second film. So you could watch the first film. All you needed to watch was the first film and then that film. You didn't need to watch the others in between it. which I thought was cool. It's fine, a way to rejuvenate a franchise that probably needed a bit of help. But like it's just The Exorcist isn't that film. You just leave that the fuck alone. Dan says The Exorcist is a film of its time. It was a cultural touchstone of a particular era of film, similar to the Blair Witch Project, and which is another film they tried to remake, and it just completely flopped.
Yeah.
I saw one of those remakes recently, and I have to say it didn't really hit its stride at all at any point. It didn't feel like it was capturing it, mainly because most people don't wander around with video cameras anymore. They just film everything on their phone, and it completely missed the point that it was the first film that had ever really done found footage that actually, went mainstream.
The only film that is kind of similar in a way of being a slightly alternative take of The Exorcist is Stigmata.
Yeah, but even that still does its own thing.
It does its own thing, but I was just thinking of like if you were looking at something of a different take, and I loved Stigmata. I thought that was a fantastic
film. Is that the one with Gabriel Byrne in it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
I Can't Feel My Legs, Kaiser. That's Gabriel Byrne, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good impression of Gabriel Byrne.
I thought Gabriel Byrne was on the podcast again. I don't want to say it too loud because otherwise
if I can find a picture of him, then he could be on the podcast.
Tom's magic realism machine of making people come to life. Yeah.
I mean, there was some petulant noises made last episode about whether it was more for my enjoyment than anyone else's bringing Ewan McGregor onto the show. But I would defy those comments and say that I think everyone enjoys those moments where Ewan joins us.
I was wondering whether it was Ewan or Michael Parkinson, but
Ewan has been compared to Bob Mortimer at points as well.
I mean, I personally think that was such a good impression. Really, someone should give you an audiobook, do you?
Well, yes. I mean, last week's guest didn't seem particularly keen on helping me into the audiobook scene, but that's fine. That's fine.
I don't want to say you're just a talentless hack, but we're in that area.
Fuck you and your stupid plugs.
Just to let you know, if you did an
blast from the past,
I would definitely listen to it.
There you go.
Cheers.
Nicholas says, as far as footage films go, Paranormal Activity was great, but of course every subsequent film diluted what made it good. I agree. Yeah. First one had a couple of genuine moments of I do not want to watch this right now, and then
so did the second one. The second one had some really good moments with like the thing under the sheet and the Xbox.
I've got a thing under the sheet for you, Tom.
The Xbox was the third one, I believe, wasn't it, with the Kinect?
Oh, was the second one the prequel?
No. Oh no. Yeah, you're right. It was the second one.
Yeah,
the third one was the prequel. Yeah.
Yeah, second one's the one where, spoiler alert, where the woman from the first film comes over and eventually steals the baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Yeah. Anyway, she is right though. They do get continually worse until it's a point where they're like, "Hey, we've got a novel idea. Let's not do a video camera." Point of view anymore. Let's just make a film. Like that's an original idea, and it wasn't very good because it turns out that the reason they make these like found footage films is because they don't really know how to make a good horror film a lot of the time.
Have you guys seen Insidious? Have you seen any of those?
Yes.
Films? Brilliant.
Once again, diminishing returns. Like it's like after the first one, yeah,
all starts to trail off. But that first film, man, wow.
Isn't Hereditary part of that?
No. Hereditary is its own thing. Hereditary is fucking scary, though, and it is brilliant. Like, Hereditary and... God, what's it? Ari Aster. He did Hereditary and Midsommar.
Oh, Midsommar. Yeah, very
both
cool.
Fucking excellent, yeah.
Rec 1 and Rec 2, very cool as well.
Yeah, great found footage films again.
Yeah, superb found footage.
And then Rec 3 is shite.
Rec 3 is terrible.
Yeah,
there's probably only so many of those that you can do before the gimmick, it becomes just a gimmick and not actually part of the story.
So Rec 1 is straight up zombies are in an apartment building film, which is really, really good. Rec 2 then takes the actual story a bit further. And you're right, because when they get to that point, it's like, well, what else can they do after that? I don't want to give it away because it is genuinely fucking great. People should watch it.
It's like, hey, don't worry, guys. I've got a video camera.
Yeah,
I'll come in behind you. Okay, yeah, fine. I think we can all, yeah.
With the SWAT team.
Where this is about to go.
Point being, leave the fucking Exorcist alone. In the same way, you should leave the Wicker Man alone as well while we're at it. So
absolutely.
Grow your own Dungeons and Dragons campaign cities and towns with this toolkits. This is on comicbook.com again. Kobold Press has launched a new Kickstarter for a brand new campaign builder book designed to help players build and enhance towns and cities within their campaigns. Launch Kickstarter campaign builder, cities and towns, new rulebook designed to help GMs grow their homebrew world with bigger cities with more for their players to do. New book comes with temples, guilds that can be inserted into any town, along with helpful NPCs, even tables filled with rumour and potential plots that can be inserted into any campaign. It also comes with City and Towns map folio, which contains 10 24 by 36 wet dry erase maps. A Roll20 VTT version of the map folio will also be provided to players. Sounds quite cool. Sounds like quite a good idea. Like, one of the hardest things is actually like trying to fill a town or city in D&D. So, yeah.
That's very cool.
Jamie says, are there actually, when you think about it, any good horror movies? The Exorcist is a genuinely really good horror movie.
Alien.
I mean, yeah,
Alien,
there are
Shining.
good horror movies. If there were literally none, then people wouldn't be trying to make them.
The Wicker Man as well.
The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity 1.
28 Days Later was
28
actually.
Days Later.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know. There's quite a big list of film titles we've already mentioned.
Bambi.
Times.
Bambi.
But yeah, the start of any Pixar film.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes of a Pixar film. Except for Toy Story, I guess. Or was that Disney?
Rise of Skywalker. Because that was a horror of a film.
Yeah. Very good. I've got some good news, by the way, Dan, as well. But you crack on. I'll say.
No,
this
yeah,
later.
go on.
Just because I am a Duke Nukem fan, there was some interesting news on PC Gamer earlier today. I credited them. I didn't just call it mine. There was some news on some site that isn't a proper news outlet, but I will be talking about it instead. Back in 2001, there was a leaked version of Duke Nukem Forever that was shown as part of trailers. Back in the sort of days when it was thought it was going to be actually a sequel that came out within 2 or 3 years of the original, and it looked really good. It looked really fun, very interactive, and stuff like that. But you can now download that. You can download that 2001 version of Duke Nukem Forever. It's incredibly buzzy, a bit janky, but they've released the entire source code as well, which means that hopefully some crafty modders are going to get their hands on it and hopefully build out a version of Duke Nukem Forever from 2001 that will knock the pants off of what we actually got as Duke Nukem Forever 13 years, 13, 14, I can't remember, it was a long time.
Are you not slightly concerned that someone releasing Duke Nukem source code is a right-wing dream?
I mean, yes, but I think the point is that Duke Nukem is a pastiche and very tongue-in-cheek, complete piss take and Mickey take, and actually, you know, he is who he is, and he's not like meant to be a hero at all. He's not played as a hero.
To you and to me, in the same way that people think Space Marines are the heroes of Warhammer 40k and Judge Dredd is the hero of 2000 AD. Yeah. People would just do it anyway. It doesn't really matter, but it is a cool idea. I like that they've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good. It's also, for people who are interested in video games, they will be able to look at this and wonder what went wrong, and be able to actually now pick apart the source code and take a look at exactly what they were dealing with, and why on earth.
Just why?
Yeah, why on earth? I mean, I think the point's been laboured a lot about what happened through the development hell that Duke Nukem Forever got itself stuck into, but this is the version that was built on the Unreal Engine before they ended up scrapping it entirely and started rebuilding it on another engine. you know, it was about as far along in development as, you know, a few more months work on, well, not a few more months, but maybe like a couple of years more work on it, and it would have been a completed, finished game with actually some quality to it, rather than the tripe that got wheeled out by Gearbox.
Tripe.
Sorry, Randy.
Some thoughts in the comments. Nicola says there are good horror movies, but most of them are the old ones that use suspense rather than excess gore. Dan says The Thing, The Ring. Jack says Critters. Dan says Alien. Jack says Duke Nukem has fans. James says you are right. I was thinking movies like Drag Me to Hell, which I quite like, I'll be honest.
It's meant to be very good.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of actual good horror movies. Yeah, there are some good ones. The Thing, actually, I forgot about The Thing. It's fucking great. Dan says making a game open source is a left-wing move as well. I totally agree. I'm just thinking Duke Nukem is the kind of character that could become, while we see him.
I don't think he's got enough cultural cachet anymore to become like a totem that gets adopted by a particular wing of the political spectrum.
No, because if someone like him got picked up, then you only have to start looking at some of the action heroes from the 80s and 90s to start finding other heroes, and no one's appropriated them yet. So I would be surprised, but that's not to say it won't happen. Is my final word on that.
And Duke Nukem's famous line, kicking ass and chewing bubblegum, was from John Carpenter's classic They Live. It was, Dan, yeah?
It was.
Wait, you're telling me that the guy that shouts about killing all Xenos are actually the bad guys? Yeah, it's true. You shouldn't kill all aliens until, find out a bit more about them. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I know. I was going to say, but in the context of the film, the aliens are, homicidal killers only interested in survival, and they will kill anything that stands in their way or use them as incubators for more. So, I think there's kind of tiers of extraterrestrial life. Like, these are the ones that we probably don't want around.
They've got an obligate parasitic stage.
But in 40k, it's a lot of rocking up to a planet of, fluffy teddy bear creatures.
Yeah.
And going, you mean you don't worship the Emperor? Exterminate them all. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're quite right wing.
Yeah.
Really?
So he got called out for this by Jermaine Clement. Thought this was amazing. Taika Waititi says Thor: Love and Thunder is about love with superheroes in outer space. He also says it's a very good film. I think he came out with a quote saying like it's a very good film. But I've lost the quote now, but it was something along those lines, and it was quite funny.
I'm very excited for that movie.
I am as well. I'm very excited. Gotham Knight PS4.
I'm
Xbox...
excited.
Cool.
Good to know.
Gotham Knights PS4 and Xbox One releases have been cancelled.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So it's only going to be released on the consoles that nobody can buy?
You can buy an Xbox.
Can you, actually?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people have
Series
just sort
X.
of given up looking because they've assumed they're unavailable.
Yeah, you can definitely get them. So it'll be on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. I'd imagine this is like a tester to say, right, can we now just start making games for the more powerful consoles?
It would be nice to start making use of the hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they can't really they can make them for the PS5, but no one's got a PS5, so...
They
Oh
are
yeah,
like
look at that!
rocking
You can just go and straight up buy an Xbox.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Well, from a shop.
Yeah. This Dan, I totally agree. 40k games tend to have Space Marines as the main characters, which is a bit annoying. Same as the fascist characters like Judge Dredd being made out to be heroes. Now, the thing to remember about things like Games Workshop and 2000 AD is they are run by huge lefties. Generally, they never. I don't think they ever anticipated Space Marines or Judge Dredd being heroes.
You were never meant to take it seriously.
Yeah. Like something like Judge Dredd America, for example, shows how much of a dickhead he actually is. Really. And you were never meant to take it seriously. It's like
I think they have a lot of the lore in 40k does take itself very seriously.
It does, and it does annoy me that it's basically says, right, so you've got these guys go around invading planets, taking over planets, and then putting all their citizens to war. They're the good guys, okay? So let's remember that. And then the bad guys are the ones that didn't want to do that and found themselves in basically a hellish landscape.
I think that's a big part of why they brought what's his face back, Gilliman.
Yeah.
So that he can walk around going, no, lads, this isn't what we were meant to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all. The thing to remember about 40K is there aren't really any good guys.
And also, I think the you know, the video game Space Marine, the one with Mark Strong playing Captain, I can't remember his name.
Titus, is it?
Captain Titus. Captain something Titus. He is, you know, he's painted as a more idealistic, yet still very right wing. You know, he's not right wing, but he's very much a Space Marine, but one who is prepared to sort of bend orders. Should they be the difference between the survival of more people than the deaths of more people, and then gets wheeled off by the Inquisitress. What are they called?
Inquisitor.
Yeah. There's a sequel to that coming up.
There is, which is great because it was a really good fun game. But the point is, I think when you translate it to video games, I think you've got two choices with Warhammer. You either go full strategy, or you find some way to build it so it's squad based, and the most likely kind of heroes are the sort of the heroes of the, you know, the Space Marines are the heroes, if you like. They're the sort of the sort of like godlike, aren't they? Worshipped by other soldiers on the battlefield. And
they've gone out
type of character to play.
They've gone out of their way. Like I've watched so many videos, fallen down so many YouTube rabbit holes with this, where you've watching like the Imperial Guard and the Space Marine turns up and they go angels and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, but they're still fascist dicks that have kind of tried to take over the entire galaxy.
It works really well from a game mechanics point of view, though, because normally, you know, especially in those like FPS or, you know, third-person shooter type things, you've got one dude who's mowing through armies and armies and armies of opponents, which is never even remotely realistic, except when you've got a Space Marine, it sort of is, because they are kind of literally a one-man army.
But that's why this Dark Tide looks like so much fun, because you're basically different members of the Imperium, but you're never like a Space Marine or something. It's just you up against, is it Gene Stealers or Chaos Cultists or something like that?
It's Chaos Cultists, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then that's also why...
Sorry, it was the original Space Hulk games, wasn't it? That were
had
Gene
Stealers.
That was full on Gene Stealers,
yeah.
And
The
there was
original Space Hulk game was terrifying.
Yeah.
I had a game on the PS2 where you were a Tau. That was really good.
Yeah, Jack's just mentioned this,
Fire Warrior, that was
Fire
awesome.
Warrior,
But you had, I think it was Peter Serafinowicz was a Space Marine who was like, I don't know why he couldn't just go and do it himself. I can't remember the plot, but like he was on the radio to you. And by the end he was like, I might not exterminate your entire planet. You're all right.
They don't ever hide behind the fact that the Emperor's meant to represent God, do they?
No.
In space, I
mean, he's worshipped as a god. He's a god emperor, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the god emperor.
And the fact they call the fucking the Space Marines angels as well. So yeah.
He's combating the warp, isn't he? He's keeping the warp open so that people can use it to travel.
I thought he was in he was in this long, basically Odin.
His Odin sleep.
Odin sleep.
Well, he's dead,
still
isn't
alive.
he? In all sort of practical purposes, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's just
no
left
one's-
as like a psychic entity.
No one's really ever seen his body, right? Because he's the fucking Emperor. So it's like,
I think they have. Well, there's
He's like plugged into his big chair, isn't he?
there's like a group of
The what are they called?
specialist people that maintain his body, which is basically
And the custodes would look after it.
That's it.
But for like the last 20 years, Games Workshop have been saying, "Oh, it's failing. It's going to turn off. Who knows what's going to happen?" But like, they're never going to do that.
Well, no, because they've just decided, I've got an idea. We can reset it all by relaunching Horus Heresy.
it's been out for a while, though, isn't it? This is just a relaunch of the one that's been out for a while, I think.
Yeah, they did the official Horus Heresy stuff because people were just playing it like they had made it up themselves and were making up, 30k armies, and they were like, people are playing it and they're not giving us any money.
I'm going to reuse my joke I said in a WhatsApp group. So we hear you like Space Marines in your Space Marines game, so we're going to add more Space Marines to your Space Marines game.
It
That's
does look
what
like a
Horus
really
Heresy is.
tempting box, though, doesn't it?
It's just a lot of Space Marines, and I'm actually at a point where I find Space Marines a bit boring.
That's because they don't have enough tanks.
They don't have enough tanks, don't
Then you should play
Yeah.
40k Dawn of War, because
Do you know,
that is
the Imperial
fabulous.
Guard don't
I
have
love Dawn of War.
pretty much don't have any tanks anymore.
I mean, they do.
But not like they. I think there's only there's not. It's not like it used to be, and you can't get different regiments. It's all it's only Cadians and who are the Jungle Boys?
Catachans.
Yeah, they're the only ones you can get these days.
You can still get tanks though.
But they don't have as many. There's not like the 150 variants that they used to.
I think this is bullshit, Russ. Like, because I'm pretty certain.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what I was talking about, but I was reading something about this the other day. People like bemoaning the fall of the Imperial Guard.
I
If
feel
they
like
can't-
this might be like mini eggs, you know.
Yeah, that's.
Just want
where
to point
I'm-
out we got through the whole of Easter without you lot being pricks about mini eggs this year
Well, that's because they were available, like they are still available
during Easter.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the shop right now, buy a pack of mini eggs.
right now.
Right
We've got
now.
20 minutes. If I can go to shop and buy mini eggs, you owe me £400.
Yep.
Deal?
Seems like such an arbitrary figure of money. It's like £400.
With that, you can buy one Games Workshop tank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely can still get mini eggs. I'm 90% certain.
Off Amazon.
Off Amazon. Maybe off Amazon. Does it matter?
And like they'd have to be actual Cadbury's ones.
I'm looking at.
Yeah, they have got there are
They've
loads
got
of tanks on
fucking
here.
hundreds of
I don't know
tanks.
what this person I was reading was talking about. They've still got shitloads of tanks.
Yeah, which is good because I like the tanks. That's why I'm in it for the tanks.
Cadbury's mini eggs. Oh, there they are. Yep, Cadbury's mini eggs. A pack of 6 bags.
if
of
you're,
them for 12
watching,
quid on
Never
Prime.
say we go off on a tangent.
Oh, I could get a box of 24 bags,
Hmm.
and it could be here on Saturday.
That's because that's coming from some wholesaler or whatever.
Oh,
know,
that's because it's coming
Oh.
from someone that sells mini eggs, Tom. Silly you.
It's coming from a shop that was legally set up by someone to sell products.
This is all
Like
above because
mini
all we
eggs.
know he's doing is he is downloading an STL file and he's going to try and print out a bag of mini eggs.
And just
Oh,
hold it
I
up and
see.
pretend to be a mini egg.
I see.
I'm
I
eating
see.
it. It is delicious.
I see. Okay.
Dan says you can
see.
definitely can't find cream eggs. Game on. I bet I can.
Yeah, cream eggs are seasonal as well, aren't they? I mean, they
Yeah,
literally
apart
have
from the fact
adverts
that you
about
can-
how it's cream egg
I
season.
actually, cream eggs are actually seasonal, not like mini eggs, which aren't.
Don't know. It seems that I could get a lot of them right now.
What, cream eggs or...
Yeah, cream eggs
do.
and mini
I
eggs
fucking love a cream egg.
and mini eggs. I mean,
I don't really do
Jackson-
cream eggs.
How many different? How many of those are different tanks, and how many of just variants on the same box as another? There's,
cares?
oh god, am I going to do this?
There are quite a few different like
So
base
there's
tanks.
2 different Imperial Guard tank chassis, and they've got different turrets and different mounts that make them different things. Okay,
Tom wants to say something.
There's
Tom.
the Lehman Russ, and what's the other one?
the Chimera.
That's it.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. There's 8 different Imperial Knights of God. Yeah, exactly. For gods. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jack. Anyway, sorry.
well, this all sounds super cool.
Gotham Knights, as we were discussing, not coming out on PS4 and Xbox. I had no idea how we got further than that, but yeah, that's the thing.
I've got some good news.
Oh, good.
I was Nels, more
Good
Nels. So Elden Ring has sold over 13 million copies in its first month,
You played it yet,
which
Tom?
is wonderful. Yes, I have. I've got it, played it. It's so good that even Vinny likes watching it as well. It is standard Souls. Soulsborne game. It is fucking hard as nails, and very unforgiving. But it is such a well executed open world. And it all feels very organic, and yeah, it's really good fun if you like exploring and being punished for going down the wrong road, which is pretty much every time you turn a corner in this game, you get punished quite severely. How dare you walk into a cave you've just established here? 15 imps with daggers will now set themselves upon you and kill you very quickly.
I've got it, and yes, I get my ass kicked regularly, and I haven't played that much of it. But for me, the size of it is fucking daunting. Like that's the big thing for me is I plonk it on and go, right, so I've got a couple of hours, I'm going to play some Elden Ring. And then I'm there for a couple of hours going, I won't get anywhere in this couple of hours. I won't do anything. I'm going to die 6 times, get angry and put it down. So
I've got about 20 hours in it so far, and all I've managed to do is defeat Margit the Fell Omen, who's the first major boss. I've defeated a couple of other of the smaller bosses who aren't really main story bosses, and I didn't even realize until after I'd defeated Margit the Fell Omen, which took me hours to try and defeat this motherfucker. He's such a heavy hitter and so fast and such an aggressive boss. I didn't realize until afterwards he's completely optional. You don't actually have to kill this guy. That I was bashing my head against this brick wall for hours thinking, well, this is the only way into Stormvale Castle, only to find out there is a very, very well signposted other entrance into Stormvale Castle that is so much easier to get into. I you know, honestly, and that is the Soulsborne formula. There are these times where you find yourselves locked into these interminable battles that you eventually win, only to find that you could have completely sidestepped it. You always feel like you're cheesing the game in some way as well. It's very clever. It makes you feel like you finally cracked it after a long time. But yeah, it's no less rewarding.
Have you seen some of the cosplay that's come out?
I have, yeah.
Of Rani the Witch. That was someone called Jessica does a very good Rani the Witch.
Yes, and she's one of the most compelling characters in it, and her side story actually, although I've only scraped the surface of it because it's actually something that you progress as the game progresses, as I'm led to believe. She's very compelling as a character. She's very interesting. She appears at choice moments. There's just wonderful mechanics in it as well. It's great. It's just so nice. There's this really cool flask where you can mix. So you usually carry around. Dan, you know this. You know there's the little flask. Some heal you and some replace all your magicka, if you like, your mana, if you like. But there's one that you can actually pour in different kind of things, and it has different attributes. Like I've got one where I've mixed in massive stamina boost and massive poise boost. So when I'm going into a battle, I will always be able to, I'll be able to use the shield more effectively, but also have massively regenerating stamina so that I can continue rolling, dodging, and attacking without running out of stamina. And you can change the attributes of this one flask throughout the game with different chemicals, and always have this very useful thing that you can sort of suddenly deploy. It's awesome. And you get a bloody goat horse to run around on. It's great. It's so good.
Goat horse. Do you actually call it goat horse?
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is though. The horse's name. I can't remember what his name is.
It's what's it called? It's by name, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Let's just say Shadowfax.
There you go. Canon.
Yeah.
Okay. In other news, speaking of canon, Mass Effect 4 leak reveals major details. BioWare has seemingly leaked some major Mass Effect 4 plot detail and confirmed that in the canon universe of the Mass Effect trilogy, Commander Shepard is alive and the Reapers are destroyed. The leak comes the way of the official BioWare gear store, where the Geth poster released last year to promote the Mass Effect has been made into a lithograph. Dubbed the Mass Effect Mysteries from the future lithograph, the product itself isn't very interesting. BioWare's teased it as at least 5 surprises hidden within it, but fans think they've figured out most of these mysteries. What's more interesting is the product description for the lithograph, or at least the original product description as it's been altered to remove some juicy details. The original description noted that Shepard's final quest had ended the threat of Reapers, but at the great cost of including Earth itself.
Well, I mean, Earth is largely destroyed, isn't it, by the end of the Reaper invasion? But I love to hear that the sort of almost the word of God is that Shepard, in canon, you choose the destroy ending, which is the red ice cream flavor.
Yeah, which is not the ice cream flavor I went for.
What did you? I chose Synthesis the first time.
The green one, yeah.
Is that green? Yeah, the green ice cream. Yeah.
That's your lemon lime ending of the game.
Yes. Yes.
It kind of negates the point of having a choice. If they're like, yeah, that's great, you've made your choice. It's actually this one, but we'll just carry on.
It's almost like they really regret that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Danger
Zone! The Microsoft Flight Sim Top Gun Maverick content is coming on May 25th. I am on that. That sounds fun. Also, Top Gun Maverick is genuinely getting really good reviews.
Yeah, all the reviews are like, no, seriously, I'm not just overexcited. It really is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went to see Dr. Strange on
Dr. Strange?
IMAX. Yeah, Dr. Strange on IMAX. And before the film started, there was a trailer for Top Gun Maverick, and then they go, and now, never before seen from Top Gun Maverick, which lasted about 10 minutes.
Oh,
and then
nice.
Another trailer from Top Gun Maverick. There was about 20 minutes of that film prior to Dr. Strange. So it was, but I'm excited and I can't wait.
And how was Dr. Strange?
I liked it. I didn't love it.
I don't love it.
So I like what they did, and it's going to be one of those ones in 2 years' time that if people don't like it, they'll put up screenshots from the film going, how can you not love how beautiful this film is? Because there's some really beautiful moments in it, but some of the script...
That's only part of a film, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and some of the script is really, really bad. It doesn't take away from the fact that I did enjoy it, though. And there's some great moments in it as well. So,
excellent.
Dan says Synthesis was the most horrifying ending.
Oh, well, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, the blend of machine and man in weird circuit boards all over your face kind of way, I guess that's quite horrifying.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? Avatar, The Way of the Water trailer has been released. I don't know whether you guys have seen it.
Oh my god, but do I not give a shit?
Have you seen it, though?
It's not even a good trailer. It's just music and some screensavers.
Mm-hmm.
But people think that, I mean, it might... Some people have been commenting that the CGI it looks fine, but some people really get jizzy about it.
I mean, it's
Getting jizzy with it.
From a technical point of view, it's incredible. I mean, like, it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing the length they'll go to show large blue creatures fucking animals, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got zero interest in it. And I don't think it, like... A big part of the reason the first Avatar did so crazily well at the office is it was just in the sweet spot for when people were prepared to pay twice as much to watch a film in 3D.
Yeah.
Which added to its box office.
I think it looks boring as fuck, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, there is nothing in that. It's not a trailer, is it? It's just a selection of scenes with some
Enya-esque fucking music in the background.
Enya impersonator over the top.
PC Gamer, actually, their headline sums it up. Avatar, what's the name? Something Water?
Way of the Water.
Avatar Way of the Water looks rubbish, but we'll probably all go see it anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I will go watch that film. I will be underwhelmed. But there's great. But me and Dan, when we went to see Strange, like we were sitting next to each other, just going, "Okay, he's gonna fuck that one. He's definitely gonna fuck that one. He's definitely gonna." You can't have a lovemaking scene where the two tails intertwine and that be a major part of the lovemaking, and then show him just strapping his fucking tail onto a horse's tail afterwards because it looks like he's fucking the horse. I'm gonna die on this hill. It looks like he.
But you know, I mean, this new film does open up exciting new realms of possibilities for other animals that you could fuck.
There's one where he's just next to a whale, and it's like he's gonna fuck the whale. He's definitely gonna fuck that whale.
Yeah,
It's,
so he's floating along with his hand out, and then you'll just see the shadow of the tail start to
kind of like,
reach out.
Yeah, just in silhouette, and that's the way the trailer ends. The
Yeah.
Way of the Water.
Well, I'm guessing a whale's tentacle is significantly girthier, and maybe it just sort of absorbs him entirely.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the way that South Park characterized Steve Irwin as constantly trying to get behind animals to stick his thumb up their butthole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how I think the Avatar film is degenerating. It's just him finding other excuses to put his dick on things.
Come on, let's dock. No.
Yeah. Like, oh God, no! It's in my ear.
Some Resi 4 remake news. Is Resident
another one.
4 remake being released in less than a year?
What?
When is
How
Capcom's-
do they time it so well? They know exactly when I'll be prepared to buy that game again. And then, oh, there it is.
When is Capcom's remake of Resident Evil 4 going to be released? This is a question that a number of fans of the long-running survival horror series have had for quite some time. And while Capcom itself hasn't even confirmed that it's working on Resident Evil 4, you cheeky sod, you know you are. Apparently released its financial report today over earnings tied to the company within the fiscal year. A glimpse of what is to come. Didn't give away everything that it has lined up. It did say multiple major new titles will be launching from now through to March 23rd. It remains to be seen whether one of these games actually are what these games actually are, but it seems the remake of Resident Evil 4 could drop at some point within this period of time. So basically what Capcom have said is they're releasing some games.
I mean, you could argue that Resident Evil Village has actually served as quite a good tech demo for Resi 4, because there was a lot of hiding in things, pulling things over doors, hiding in buildings, running up to the top, reinforcing and fortifying them, and trying to hold out against hordes. I think they've got it. I think they've got it. They've proved in that they can do that. So now I think Resi 4 is it can't really be further beyond the corner than maybe a year or so. It feels about right.
While we're on Resident Evil, TV series trailer, it will drop tomorrow apparently.
Oh, we don't need more TV series. The fucking Halo one sucks balls. Like, we don't want
Have you watched
any more. Yeah, it's really not fun. It's really not fun.
Yeah, I've heard such bad things about it, and not just from whingy game people going, no, that's completely the wrong uniform for that time period. This mark of armor was not in service at this time.
Russ, you're talking about people. Tom there.
Yeah, basically.
You read his review then, did you?
Yeah, and for anyone who wasn't listening, that wasn't actually Tom speaking then. That was me doing an impression of it. But I mean, aside from all the normal whinging about the accuracy of something being accurate to a fucking game, it also just sounds like it's bad.
Yeah.
What's it on?
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, something that nobody here really has anyway.
Yeah, you can't get it here. Jack says the real.
So I haven't watched it. I have been sent it.
Okay, but Tom, would you steal a car?
Well, it depends.
I rest my case, Your Honour. Jack says the real twist is actually Resident Evil 4 FORE, a golf game with all Resi characters. I would play the shit out of that.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Capcom.
No.
I mean, the Nemesis has got to have a mean drive.
Yeah.
Probably not the finesse for putting, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So D&D Beyond will delist 2 Dungeons and Dragons rulebooks next week. Next week, Wizards of the Coast will release Mordenkainen's Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, a rulebook that contains updated character races and character stat blocks. The rulebook not only provides newer players with a single rulebook that contains most of the character races found outside of the player's handbook, it also gave Dungeons and Dragons designers a chance to tweak various stat blocks. Much of the content from Monsters of the Multiverse were originally printed in Volo's Guide, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, 2 previously published books released in 2016-2018. Earlier this week, digital toolset D&D Beyond confirmed that it would delist both Volo's Guide and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. So, there we go.
Delist just for anyone who wants to purchase them.
I'm guessing so. I'm assuming if you've
bought them already, you'll still be able to access that stuff.
Yes, I would hope so. So, yeah. That's a thing that happened in the news this week.
The actual news doesn't do that enough, does it?
No. You're listening? Fuck you. Right. So PlayStation says,
Dan, you've lost the news.
What did I do? Huh?
No, I'm kidding. It's a day-to-day thing.
Oh.
I'm getting lots of Brass Eye clips coming up in my YouTube recommends feed at the moment.
There's an algorithm. That'll be because you're watching something similar or Brass Eye.
Yeah. My money would be that you're watching brass eye.
Brass eye.
So
I
that's why
I
you're
haven't
getting
been. I've
loads
just
of
been getting
brass eye clips.
loads of them up.
Yeah.
So, do you remember with the jam factory where everyone's allowed to take as many drugs as they want?
Cake is a made-up drug.
18 months.
Here's some fun news that we can all say raise a finger to. Everyone getting ready?
Are we doing this preemptively, are we?
Fuck you, PlayStation.
Fuck you,
PlayStation says it would need to reduce game budget to rival Xbox Game Pass. Like, little dig at, like, well, their games aren't as good as ours. Fuck you, PlayStation.
Fuck you, PlayStation.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to say. God. Fucking
I love the
cunts.
idea that they think that
Not like small Xbox owned by Microsoft.
I think,
Yeah.
I think I think that they're missing the point here. Like, you know, just lowering the price isn't going to make your shit service any more like palatable. Like, it's shit. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to pay less for shit
Yeah.
unless
Yeah, I
that
agree.
shit is free. In which case, I'll take some of that shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'll take the free shit.
Cheers. Appreciate it. Thanks.
I think I'm out of news.
News. Dan,
Yeah.
you've run out of news.
It's all gone. It's
But
all
that
spent.
was some excellent news, Dan.
Hmm.
What am I
Yeah,
doing? Am
very
I
good.
wrapping this up?
Don't know. Did we? Duncan had an idea that I quite liked.
Because I'm in the throes of Eurovision passion. Because I love it. Don't care. I just love it. Baz also loves it. Because we were chatting about it on Discord last night.
Join the Discord, people.
Join the Discord. Admittedly, it was in the gents Discord. But join the Discord.
Join both Discords, people.
Join all the Discords. But mainly the TMTOH and the gents Discord. In fact, forget every other Discord. Just join those two because it's good fun. It's good chat. Because like Russ and Tom don't always take part, so it's fine.
I think
That is true. Yeah, you've nailed us to the wall with that one.
I'll nail you.
What was your good idea, Duncan?
Oh yeah, I thought we could just quickly go through characters or like in. They don't have to have musical talent. It would be fun, but just anyone that would be quite good in Eurovision. I know we've probably done this actually before, but there's been other stuff that's come out since then.
Yeah.
But however, all my suggestions were from characters we probably mentioned before from way back. But yeah, acts, people we think would be quite good in a Eurovision Song Contest.
Okay.
So obviously my first one would be the Cantana band in Star Wars. Doot, doot, doot. Everyone loved them.
Wait, how did that go? Never heard that.
But I mean, you have to have you can't just have an all musical number in Eurovision, can you? You do have to have lyrics.
Yeah, you do have to have lyrics. So
So you'd have to get Cy Snootles in there as well, or whatever he's called.
yeah,
I'm going Charlie Reynolds and Charlie Kelly and Dennis Reynolds doing Dayman.
Yeah, I think that was going to be my my
Yeah.
nomination.
Yeah.
Or their what are they called when they're like their electro band? And it's just the
can't
two of them.
Or the version of Yankee Doodle Dandy from the Frank's Little
Yeah.
Beauties.
With the little kid with his drawn on abs.
Yeah. One of those, probably.
like I was thinking about this. I actually thought that the singer that he in The Fifth Element, the opera singer, which I can't remember.
That would fit in really well.
She, I mean, okay, obviously she dies, but
Oh, well, it won't happen then.
no, but
Yeah.
she would be, as long as she doesn't die in the performance. Anyway,
Yeah.
she would be really good. That would be very
Yeah.
cool. I also thought Loki, because he just keeps on changing throughout, he'd be very Eurovision. And then I just was thinking, actually, the whole of Thor Ragnarok, if you could condense that, the Grand Master with the, it's my birthday.
Just anything by Flight of the Conchords, Jack says. I agree.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I mean, ideally, if Australia really want to win, they just need Tom Cardy. That would be he's funny and he's musically fucking brilliant.
I
So
It's not like a good a Eurovision song is almost like a genre of its own.
I bet Tom Hardy could write a really fucking good Eurovision
I
song.
bet he could, but he'd sort of specifically be doing it. Did any of you guys see the Eurovision film with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's really good.
it's
Great.
hilarious.
It's brilliant. It's
And
brilliant.
there's a
the
really
song's
weird shot at
brilliant
the
as well.
end where it's meant to be Edinburgh, but it's like looking up towards, I think it's Teviot Place, but then like the SSE Hydro, or whatever it's called, is like at the end of the road. It's really odd.
Yeah, the mixing in it is odd plate locations is quite funny. Because I think the castle, the house that everything happens in, is down in Hertfordshire.
Yeah, it like that. The big house where the Russian guy has his party is clearly not even in Scotland.
No,
It was
That's it.
good. I loved the music as well. I loved the fictional band that Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell. I can't even remember what they're called, but
Fire Saga.
Fire Saga. That's it, Fire Saga. And that wonderful song at the end, My Hometown. Oh, I love it. I love that. I love the music from that film. It's brilliant.
Dan Stevens steals it. Like with Lions of Love.
yeah, that's
It's
that's
just
very good.
it's just so. Apparently, he was going to sing it, but he was ill at the time, so or something like that. Emma told me. Anyway, the performance is fantastic.
It's the
Oh,
fairies.
it was
the bit with
COVID.
the-
That was it. It was
Oh, it was
COVID.
COVID. It was the
Oh,
bit
was
with
it?
the fairies. I love where the,
Yeah,
the guy gets stabbed,
Stabbed
and then
and
he
the
turns
door
turns
shuts.
toward the door, and the door shuts. He goes, "Thanks, enjoy the biscuits."
So I've not really, I like to save myself for the big night with Eurovision. So I've not watched anything so far. Who's your hot pick?
I fucking love Norway. Like, but that's because I think it's the guys who did "What Does the Fox Say," and I love that song, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. So, fuck everyone if you do not appreciate that. But it's just ridiculous. The standard might not be quite as good as maybe last year, but it's still. I love the Norway one. Who I mean, Ukraine are probably high up. It's not. You got to respect anyone who's got a Jamiroquai hat.
No, you don't. They're cunts. Like, no, fuck that. No. I'm not having that. You don't have to respect anyone that's got a Jamiroquai hat on. They're immediately a cunt.
All right.
So that's Dan's hot take on
that's
the Ukrainian entry into Eurovision.
Oh shit! Sorry. No, Ukrainian entry. That's fine. Just the hats. I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Yeah, I could tell. I don't know. Next semi-finals tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Can't remember who else we thought might be quite good. I mean, Emma found the French entry very attractive. They're quite something, and that you would never have guessed is in Breton. They're doing it in Breton, so I'm automatically like, go Brège. I love the fact that it's a Brittany band, like doing it in sort of techno Celtic folk traditional shit. But there is, they're quite good fun.
I feel bad now. By the way, I hope you're happy. I'm blaming you guys for this.
I mean, you know,
You just
the
launched
Jamiroquai
into
hat is a big question mark.
It
It's
is,
a
but
pink
also,
hat.
is it actually a Jamiroquai hat?
No, it's just a pink hat. It just looks like a ridiculous hat that
Didn't say
Jamiroquai.
that. Like, it's like Jamiroquai's a cunt. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anyone who has the.
No, you're
the-
right. No, I'm backtracking about as fast as I can possibly backtrack.
You
here, so,
really
yeah.
are. It's quite amusing.
Can I get through
that-
a whole podcast without saying something fucking controversial? Is
No.
that possible?
You're channeling Tom.
Even-
Sorry, my mic's off. Well, I you would hope you'd get through one.
And
I
don't
haven't
even
said
mean
anything
it
offensive
either.
yet.
It's
I
not.
haven't said anything yet.
It's,
The
I never even mean
Latvian,
it.
the Latvian entry, which isn't going to the final, has very interesting opening lyrics of, instead of eating meat, I eat vegetables and pussy.
What?
Well, there we go. I will do it. I'll do it. Well done, everyone. We nearly did it. Well done. A good effort all round.
Okay.
Excellent.
It's a Eurovision song.
Yeah. Well done, everyone. Okay, well, on that note, let's. If you'd like to interact with us and share any of your complaints or observations about the content that you've witnessed tonight, please do on our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter channels. Just use the handle at TMTOOH. Don't forget, also in the Instagram bio, you'll find a link to our Discord server where at least 50% of the people on this podcast interact on a semi-regular basis. And we need to up those numbers, guys. We need to pump up those numbers. These are rookie numbers.
I know how we could pump them up by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By us.
Yeah.
And Dan, are there any pods coming up?
Yeah, all the ones I've been too lazy to put up. They're all going up tonight.
Brilliant. All the pods.
There's I think Robots has just gone up, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, so Robots Part 2's gone up, finally. And also, I've been super busy, guys. I do apologise. Run off my feet at the moment. So the actual World Cup of Robots Round 2 will be going up tomorrow afternoon as well.
I was going to say, though, don't apologise, because we're doing everyone a service by putting this out.
No, I know, but I still feel bad about it. So it will all go up, and that should be all wrapped up by next week. Maybe we'll do a roundup of World Cup of Robots next week.
Lovely stuff. So on that note, it's going to be a very easy one here. We're going to say goodbye to Duncan.
Goodbye.
We're going to say goodbye to Dankin.
Goodbye, and also I don't hate the singer from Ukraine. I do want to stress that. Yeah.
Of course you don't.
Yeah.
We're going to say goodbye to Ruskin.
It is.
And it's goodbye from me, Tomkin. And on that note, we cue the music.